Good morning and welcome to today's reflection. Now, one of today's readings from the letter of Paul's letter to the Romans, chapter 11, reminds me a great deal of a story by J.B. Phillips, an Anglican priest and author of many books. From verse 33, have you ever come on anything quite like this extravagant generosity of God, this deep, deep wisdom? It's way over our heads. We'll never figure it out. Is there anyone around who can explain God? Anyone smart enough to tell him what to do? Anyone who has done him such a huge favour that God has to ask his advice? Everything comes from him. Everything happens through him. Everything ends up in him. Always glory, always praise. This is a word of the Lord. So the story was entitled, The Angel's Point of View. Once upon a time, a very young angel was being shown round the splendours and glories of the universe by a senior and experienced angel. The little angel was beginning to be tired and a little bored. He had been shown round whirling galaxies and blazing suns, infinite distances, and to his mind there seemed to be an awful lot of it. Finally, he was shown the galaxy to which our planetary system is but a small part. As the two of them draw near the star which we call our sun and its circling planets, the senior angel pointed to a small and rather insignificant sphere turning slowly. It looked as dull as a dirty tennis ball to the little angel. I want you to watch that one particularly, said the senior angel. Well, it looks small and dirty to me. What's special about that one? That, said his senior solemnly, is the visited planet. Visited, said the little one. You mean visited by? Indeed I do. That ball, which I have no doubt looks to you small and insignificant, has been visited by our young Prince of Glory. At those words he bowed his head reverently. But how? Queried the younger one. Do you mean that our great and glorious Prince, with all those wonders and splendours of his creation, and millions more I'm sure I haven't yet seen, went down in person to this fifth-rate little ball? Why should he do a thing like that? It isn't for us, said his senior a little stiffly, to question his whys, except I must point out he is not impressed by size and numbers as you seem to be. As to why he became one of them, how else do you suppose he could visit them? The little angel wrinkled his face in disgust. Do you mean to tell me that he stooped so low as to become one of those creeping, crawling creatures in that floating ball? I do, and I don't think he would like you to be called them creeping, crawling creatures, for, strange as it may seem, he loves them. He went down to visit them, to lift them up, to become like him. The little angel looked blank. Such a thought was beyond his comprehension. Close your eyes for a moment, said the senior angel, and we'll go back in what they call time. Now look. Well, what am I seeing now? Queried the little angel. You're watching this little world as it was some thousands of years ago. Every flash and glow of light that you see is something of the Father's knowledge and wisdom breaking into the hearts and minds of people who lived on the earth. Not many people, you see, can hear his voice or understand what he says, even though he is speaking gently and quietly to them all the time. Why are they so blind and deaf and stupid? Asked the junior angel rather crossly. It's not for us to judge them. We who live in splendour have no idea what it is to live in the dark. We hear the music and his voice, like the sound of many waters every day of our lives. But to them there is much darkness and much noise and distraction on the earth. The earth went on turning and circling round the sun, and quite suddenly, in the upper half of the globe, there appeared a light, tiny but so bright in its intensity that both angels hid their eyes. I think I can guess, said the little angel. That was a visit, wasn't it? Yes, that was a visit. The light himself went down there and lived among them. But in a moment you will be able to tell, even with your eyes closed, that the light will go out. But why? Could he not bear their darkness and stupidity? No, it wasn't that, returned the senior angel. His voice was stern and sad. They failed to recognize him for who he was, or at least only a handful knew him For the most part, they preferred their darkness to his light, and in the end, they killed him. And that, I suppose, was the end. I see the whole earth has gone black now and dark. All right, I won't judge them, but surely that is all they can expect. But watch now. But be ready to cover your eyes again. In utter blackness, the earth turned round 3 times, and then blazed with unbearable radiance, a point of light. What now? Asked the little angel, shielding his eyes. They killed him, all right, but he conquered death. The thing most of them dread and fear all their lives, he broke and conquered. He rose again, and a few of them saw him, and from then on became utterly devoted. Thank God for that, said the little angel. Amen. Now open your eyes and see the dazzling light has gone. The prince has returned to his home of light, but watch the earth now. And as they looked, in place of the dazzling light, there was a bright globe which throbbed and pulsed. And then, as the earth turned many times, little points of light spread out. A few flickered and died, but for most parts, the lights burned brightly, steadily. And as they continued to watch, in many parts of the globe, there was a glow over many areas. You see what is happening, said the senior angel. The bright glow is a company of loyal men and women he left behind. And with his help, they spread the glow, and now lights begin to shine all over the earth. Yes, yes, said the little angel impatiently, but how does it end? Will the lights join up with each other? Will it be all light as it is in heaven? The senior shook his head. We simply do not know, he replied. It is in the Father's hands. Sometimes it is agony to watch, and sometimes it is joy unspeakable. The end is not yet, but I know, and I am sure you can see why this little ball is so important. He has visited it. He is working his plan out on it. And as I end that story, my prayer is that for each one of us, for our light to shine brightly and to join with others around us. In the meantime, enjoy the rest of the day, the rest of this week, and if we can, smile. Bye for now.